wasn't taught anything about money. I was told all about what took place 200 years ago in the past, but how come nobody taught me about what my future could potentially look like in as little as 18 months? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and staying safe. Today I wanted to talk about and ask the question, why don't schools teach us about money, such as the silver or the gold, or really anything personal finance related? But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there, go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today I wanted to talk about why schools don't talk about or teach us about or even really mention precious metals and their significance, their importance, why they are worth a certain amount of dollars, why some are worth more than others, how they are used in different industries. And before I even get into that, I don't want anybody to think that I'm using this video to dog on teachers. That is not my intention for today's video. I actually come from a family of educators and I have a lot of respect for the profession. I do not have a problem with teachers. I have a problem with the education system. So I wanted to talk about this today and really ask the question. This is going to be somewhat of a rant, but I believe I should be able to stay organized and hopefully I'll be able to articulate my thoughts as effectively as possible. So when it comes to the silver and the gold, they're not taught about in schools. Now, in all fairness, let's be honest, they're on the periodic table. Therefore, they are subtly referenced, but I'm not talking about elements. I'm also not talking about chemical compounds or science or anything like that. I'm talking about the industrial uses of the precious metals, how important they really truly are, how relevant they are, even though most people know nothing about them, and the fact that they are actually money. They were used as money. They're still used as money. It's internationally recognized as money. It's constitutionally recognized as money. They talk about the Constitution, but they don't talk about constitutional money. And I always thought that that was interesting, or at least for the last going on 3 years, ever since I started stacking. I remember asking myself, how come I didn't learn anything about this when I was in school? I was taught a whole bunch of things in school. But it was weird because none of it, and I mean none of it, zero, is applicable to my life today and the things that I'm doing and my job or any other job I've ever had in the past. None of those things played a role in my life. Every single person that I've talked to could probably say the same. Now, I also don't want to insinuate that silver and gold are the best kept secrets of success. I'm not going to try to insinuate that silver and gold are the solution to all problems. I'm not going to insinuate that silver and gold are the only things in the world that can save you or help you or keep you afloat in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I'm saying because that is not the truth. I'm just wondering why they weren't talked about in schools. And I'm also wondering why wasn't general personal finance talked about in schools? Now, I have talked to some people, and they've said that their school did offer one personal finance class. I don't remember if they said it was mandatory or not, but I didn't take any classes like that. Nobody I know took any classes like that. They were for sure not mandatory. I don't even believe that they were even offered. In fact, when I was in school, there was only one class ever from kindergarten to senior year of high school that helped me in any way, shape, or form. You want to know what that class was? It was the class that was attached to my school's work program. So the class wasn't even a class. The class was me getting to leave school early and go to work. It was the only class that I've ever taken that made me any type of money. And it wasn't even money, it was currency. But in all fairness, at the very beginning of that school year, they did teach us about how to properly put together a resume and things to say, things to do on job interviews, stuff like that. So that class was actually beneficial. But I wasn't told anything about the real world if you think about it. I wasn't told anything about money. I wasn't told anything about personal finance. The school didn't teach me about how to build credit or the importance of having good credit, how to pay taxes or what taxes even are. I wasn't taught how to write a check, how to buy a house, how to budget. I wasn't told about the difference between good debt and bad debt. And by the way, I know there's plenty of people watching this right now who are saying,
what is this guy talking about? All debt is bad debt.
And that's my point exactly. These things weren't taught. I wasn't told any of these things, but thank God I was taught to speak in 4 different languages.
La scuola sta fallendo I bambini.
But in all seriousness, I wasn't taught anything about money. I was told all about what took place 200 years ago in the past, but how come nobody taught me about what my future could potentially look like in as little as 18 months? That's the question. That's what I'm wondering. And I say it again. I'm not saying this trying to dunk on teachers or anything like that. Again, I come from a family of educators. I have quite a bit of respect for teachers, or at least the teachers that had respect for me as a student. That wasn't all that many of them, to be honest with you. The rest of them seemed to have had this mentality where it was pretty much,
sit down, shut up, pay attention, don't speak unless spoken to, raise your hand if you want permission to pee, and adjust your learning style to match my teaching style.
Again, it's not the teachers, it's the education system. The education system is the one that removed woodshop from the schools. The education system is the one that replaced it with all these nonsense classes. Now, I don't work for any school district. I'm not affiliated with the Board of Education, so I don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe as time went by, less and less and less students wanted to take woodshop, and more students had a demand for classes that taught nonsense. Maybe that's the case. I have zero idea. However, there's a lot of classes out there that give you a lot of information. Arguably more information than you need, or information that you didn't even really need in the first place.
Chlorophyll? More like borophyll.
I actually asked one of my teachers one time,
when are we going to use this in real life?
yes, I was that student, that pain in the neck student that the teachers could not stand. You want to know why that was? It's because I had a lot of energy. They didn't like that. I was very creative. They didn't like that. And I thought outside the box and encouraged other people to think outside the box. They hated that. But if you ask any teacher that you know, that's probably the most common question that they hear from their students. When are we going to need this? When are we going to use this? How is this going to be applicable to my real life? Why do I need to learn algebra if I want to be a firefighter? Why do I need to learn chemistry if I want to be an accountant? Why do I need to learn about British literature if I want to be a YouTuber? When am I going to need this? And I'm sure every teacher has a different response, but the one time I asked a teacher that question, he actually told me, you need it for the test. And I said, well, what about after that? And he said, you'll never need it again, I guarantee it. He told me that, straight up. And you want to know what? I respect that. I respect the honesty. I respect the truth. But unfortunately, with the way the education is set up nowadays, it's not about learning anymore. It's about being able to retain information for about 2 weeks until the test. You take the test, and as long as you get a 65 or above on the test, as long as you pass it, as long as you don't fail it, you never have to remember it again. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is nowadays. And I like to think that I got out of the public education system just in time, because soon after I graduated, that's when they started taking out the woodshop classes. That's when they started taking out the classes like that and replacing them with what I referred to as nonsense, at least in my opinion. And now I hear that they're trying to get rid of recess for the young kids, or some people are suggesting that we should remove physical education, which, by the way, with all of these kids who are doing online school nowadays, how in the world are they taking physical education? Is there a Zoom class with their gym teacher as they sit on the couch eating Cheetos? I don't understand. It's very, very strange nowadays. Again, this video is mostly just a rant, and I wanted to really just raise the question, why? Why are we not taught about money? Why are we not taught about currency? You are taught about money, you are taught about currency if you graduate high school and go to college to be a financial advisor or a financial strategist or a wealth manager or business manager or a certified public accountant or anything like that. Yeah, those classes teach you about budgeting and managing money and taxes and whatnot. But what about everybody else? What about the average Joe? Shouldn't they have a basic understanding of money? Now, a lot of people might be thinking right now, well, it's common sense or something that you have to learn on your own or from your parents. But all these kids that weren't taught anything about money grew up to be parents and still have no idea how to manage money, unfortunately. And by the way, I'm not saying that's everyone in the world. I'm not saying that's everyone in the country. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of people out there who have an alarmingly low financial IQ. And when I say financial IQ, I don't mean that to be synonymous with a low income. I don't believe your income is a direct reflection of your financial IQ. It doesn't matter if you don't earn all that much money. I don't even earn all that much money. I'm not going to sit here acting like I make $1 million and I'm looking down on the peasants in the lower class. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a financial IQ and a basic understanding of budgeting and managing your own money and your own personal finances. Why is that not taught in school, in public school, in the public education system? Something's wrong. Something's off. Something doesn't add up. And I'm not talking about math class. But I'm very curious to know, what are your thoughts? If everyone can head on down to the comments and let me know. Maybe your school was a little bit different than mine. Maybe your school was a little bit different than all of the people I've talked to and all of the schools they went to, where they learned absolutely nothing about personal finance or money or currency or silver or gold or dollar bills. Maybe your school was a little bit different than mine. Maybe your school was a little bit different than all of the people that I've talked to and all of the schools that they went to that didn't teach them anything about money, currency, or personal finance. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you think that public schools should at the very least talk a little bit about the importance of precious metals. And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller, easier to manage. I'm also doing giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my YouTube videos commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day, 365 days a year. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,500, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products, t-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. And, of course, the DYDSS Christmas line, which is helping raise a little bit of funds and awareness for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Only available until Christmas. Get one while you can. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know, what are your thoughts on everything that I shared in today's video? I understand it was a bit of a rant. I understand that I went into a completely different direction than I normally do, but this is something that I've talked about on this channel before, probably at least a year ago. I think it's a pretty fair question. Why do public schools not teach us about money, about currency, about personal finance? How come the importance of silver and gold and how they're used in all of these different industries aren't even covered for a quick lesson in public schools? I wasn't taught anything about it. How come nobody taught us about converting one currency to another? US dollars to Canadian dollars, for example. How come nobody taught us about that? How come nobody taught us about the gold standard? Maybe they did teach you about certain things in certain classes. Head on down to the comments and let me know if your school was different than my school. And if you think that there should be more classes focusing on personal finance, budgeting, taxes, writing checks, building credit, things like that, head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.